Hello, my dear students and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 15 of a 53-part series of tutorials in system analysis and design. In this presentation, we are going to be looking at the roles of a systems analyst. My name is Meme JM, or you can simply call me EMELISWAP. This is continuation of topic number 3 on perform system analysis. The person who performs systems analysis is called a systems analyst. So, what is the primary responsibility of a systems analyst? The primary responsibility of the person who we call systems analyst is to be responsible for carrying out system analysis. And therefore, a system analyst is a professional who studies organizational problems, designs information system solutions, and acts as a link between the users and technical developers. The analyst must understand both business processes and information technology and must also possess strong communication skills. Why? Because much of the work in systems analysis involves interacting with users, managers, and technical staff. A systems analyst, therefore, is a professional who applies analysis and design techniques to solve organizational problems using information technology. The analyst functions as the central link between users who understand business operations, developers who build technical solutions, and management who provide strategic direction and approval. In practice, the analyst studies existing systems, elicits and analyzes user requirements, models processes and data, evaluates feasibility, prepares form documentation as SRS, validates proposed solutions with stakeholders, and supports the transition from analysis to design and implementation. In other words, these are the roles. What are the roles? What are the functions of a system analyst? The roles or functions of systems analyst include: number 1, studying the existing system. Number 2, eliciting and analyzing user requirements. Number 3, modeling processes and data. Number 4, evaluating feasibility. Number 5, preparing formal documentations. Number 6, validating proposed solutions with stakeholders. Number 7, supporting the transition from analysis to design and to implementation. So, analysts frequently act as change agents by identifying organizational improvements, designing systems to implement those improvements, and training or motivating users to adopt new work methods. The responsibilities of the systems analyst can therefore be summarized conceptually using the following table. 1 is requirement gathering. For example, interviewing a registrar or registration procedures. Number 2, acting as a liaison officer. That is, bridging communication between the users and developers. Number 3, carrying out feasibility analysis. What is that? It includes or it entails performing cost and benefit studies. Number 4 is doing documentation. Which documentation is key? It is preparing the system requirement specification. So those are the main roles of a systems analyst in summary. But note, this is just a summary. There are many activities that a systems analyst does. So in EMELISWAP school institutional context, a system analyst typically interviews, for example, the registrar, the lecturers, and finance officers, then observes the registration and examination preprocesses, analyzes how marks are recorded and fees verified, models the logical system using DFDs or data flow diagrams, and prepares requirement documents that later guide the development of an integrated student information system. So this is just a picture. I'm painting a picture using an imaginary school called the EMELISWAP school to assist you be able to see the or some of the activities that a systems analyst carries out in a real work environment. So in a healthcare system, and as analyst or systems analyst would ensure that patient registration modules satisfy both administrative workflows and the clinical information needs, balances operational efficiency with regulatory compliance, and ensures data security. So the following diagram illustrates the position of a systems analyst in an organization. So we have the management up there, and then you can see the system analyst is like a mediator or a connector or a link between all these uh, management or managerial offices or people. We have the system analyst in there, interacting with the management, interacting with the users, interacting with the developers. So a system analyst is very important because this is the person who brings together, who connects all the other stakeholders who are involved, the management of the organization, the implementers of the organization or the various processes, and the developers. Those people have to do the design and even the coding or constructing the system. So that's the role of a systems analyst. That is where he or she is stationed or situated. Very important. So in EMELISWAP school, the system analyst must understand how admissions, registration, examinations, finance, administration operate, and must also be able to translate needs of those departments into clear and precise system requirements that programmers and system designers can implement. The analyst, therefore, plays both a technical and organizational role, ensuring that the developed system aligns with institutional objectives and user expectations. Practical duties in EMELISWAP school, for example, would include interviewing admissions officers about application procedures so that he or she understands them, observing registration clerks while processing student files, meeting finance officers to understand the fee structures, preparing diagrams and written specification for developers, amongst others. And with that, we have come to the end of part 15 of the 3-part series. You can continue to part 16 of the series, in which you are going to learn about the attributes of structured analysis. Congratulations, my dear students and the rest of the learners, for learning part 15 of 53 on the roles of a systems analyst in Perform System Analysis and Design course. You can access the rest of the parts in the series, as well as other computer or ICT videos, by clicking or tapping on the EMELISWAP ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write to us through the email emeliswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me. Let's meet in part 16 of the series, and God bless.